Okay.
Yeah, this will actually be quick. It's only gonna be like 25 minutes.
All right. Let's get it.
All right. So first we need to talk about who wants to. You can go ahead and do the opening line if you want.
Open it. Okay.
I like how it thinks we're gonna have intro music. Like if we're that fancy just yet. Nah, bro. We ain't got all that.
Ready? All right. What's poppin', everybody? My name is O'Shea, and this is my brother
Armand.
And welcome to the Blu3print. We have decided to start this podcast together. We're gonna go through our mission. One of our mission statements here is that most men go through life without a roadmap, and that's why we created the Blu3print. So I'm gonna do a quick vibe check. I feel like we have actually pretty much already did it. How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, dude, I'm feeling good. A little tired, but I'm feeling good. How are you?
I'm excited. You know, we've been in the talks of making this podcast actually happen.
Yeah.
But so much has been going into place, you know, with your brand, which we'll end up telling them about, and me, myself, just so many life changes, you know, in general. But now, hey, it's time to get straight to it. So
That's right.
I'll quick intro of myself. Again, my name is O'Shea. Some of you might know me as Carlos back home. That's my first name. Middle name is O'Shea. Last name Mejia. But I'm a content creator based out of Austin, Texas. Also a salesman as well. I do solar sales. And striving through life, taking it one day at a time. And my goal is to pass along the knowledge and wisdom that I do have and that I've currently gained from experience in life to help other men and like-minded men or people who are in that state of need, of direction, and additionally also for the younger crowd, you know, as well. But yeah, it's a little bit of me.
Yeah, and I'm Armand, so I'm founder of Fear or Faith. Go get that, shop that online.
Go get it.
Yeah, entrepreneur. I also work a 9 to 5. I'm in sales, but that does not matter, really, because that's not on the journey that we're on.
The 9 to 5 funds that fear.
Yeah, not the 9 to 5 funds what we're doing, but just a guy trying to figure it out. You know, been through some stuff. Would love to share what I've learned in the past to try to help other men be the best version of themselves. So that's what we're here for.
Nice, bro. All right, well, let's get straight to it. So, why are we here? Why did the Blu3print get created? So, you know, let's talk about how men, they don't have safe spaces to talk about their struggles, like mental health, their physical health, you know, spiritual, financial as well.
Correct.
Something that's very, very big in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess let's get started with, you know, our why for our stories, for like why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You wanna take it off?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess in terms of why, as you mentioned, like, you know, we don't really have a lot of great male figures in this world that are able to teach each other in a very positive manner on, you know, finances, mental health, relationships, etc. I think women in this space are amazing at that. They have an amazing community online. And I think that that's something that you and I both felt lacked. And even I think you and I as well, growing up, I mean, you know, lack of, you know, love our parents, right? But lack of, you know, that male guidance, right? So this is kind of our why as to why we wanted to create something, and make sure men aren't feeling alone, right, in this life, because it does get tough. Being a man, it does get tough.
I mean, I feel like we're in that state where society is doing its best to isolate men and to have them move alone, because that's when you are most vulnerable.
I agree.
So I feel like, you know, we need to get back to that tribe era of creating a safe space and a pack, you know, with men and having a team to really go after life and conquer it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, my why, I mean, it kind of piggybacks off of what Armand was saying. You know, we didn't really have the best role models growing up as men, and didn't really have someone to look up to or really inspired by. The people who did, you know, technically inspire us, they were people who most likely, I mean, I can speak for myself on this one, but I never met them. You only see them on TV or YouTube or something along those lines, right? And I'm I'm not talking bad on my family, but the men that were in my life weren't really the best role models, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, I didn't have a clear picture of like how I wanted to pursue life and where I wanted to go, you know, what direction, what goals actually were, how important habits are, how important financial literacy is, how important it is to take care of your mental health and for a man to build his foundation before he steps out into the world to seek other luxuries.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason why I want this podcast to really go through is because I want to do as much as I can to help prevent other like-minded individuals and just men or younger men who are coming up to prevent them from going through those experiences and those mistakes.
Yep.
Also, I forgot to say, I'm 26 years old. You know, I'm still young. I'm almost at unk status.
Damn.
But I caught this at an early stage because I got thrown to the wolves. Okay, but I made that decision to throw myself to the wolves because I knew at a young age, and I don't know why I was thinking this way, and God just blessed me with this mindset, but I just, for some reason, something told me to take that leap of faith and just go out in the world and just get experience.
Yeah.
Even if it, unfortunately, wasn't in the best things.
Yeah.
And that way I can learn early on because I'm starting to realize now, like at my age, that there are a couple more people that are, I'm going to say a couple more people. There are people that are older than me that are starting to just now go through those phases that I went through from 20 and up.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you're 26. I'm 32, so I'm unk status. You heard?
He's still young.
Nah, I'm unk.
Persian,
Yeah.
beautiful mofo.
I'm unk, but like, you know, you're starting, you got thrown to the wolves at a very young age. I think I did as well. You know, up until this point, I didn't start my business until I was 30.
Oh, yeah,
So, so like I started a little bit later on in life because through my 20s, I was trying to figure out obviously who I was as a man, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out, I mean, how to make it, right? I was living in survival mode more than anything.
Right.
So that's also why I want to be able to help other men in this life is, you know, like yourself. We always talk, like we're friends, and I always remind you, like, yo, you're young, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to, like, just learn from them, keep on growing, because by the time you do get to your 30s, you're gonna be well equipped to become as successful as possible.
Exactly.
And that's really my, you know, that's more than anything what I want to be able to share with the world. I mean, that's why I started Fear of Faith. Fear of Faith was really just to believe in yourself regardless of the obstacles you go through. Because as men, we do every day, even women, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But specifically right now, we're trying to change the trajectory of a lot of young men's lives.
Yes.
And
for the women that are watching this isn't one of those podcasts that's gonna be like, you know, what is it, not like non-feminists or whatever it is it's called. No, this is not about that.
Exactly.
This is strictly, you know, for helping other like-minded individuals to grow in life. However, it's just targeted for men. But hopefully there are some things or principles, you know, that you may be able to take if you do decide to continue to watch this podcast, that you can take and implement into your life as well.
I think they would. I mean, like you said, this is not something where, you know, we're excluding women. You and I were raised by two amazing women.
Yes.
Like, you're raised by your mom. I was raised by my mom. Again, have a lovely father, but I was mainly raised by a woman.
Yes.
And my sister. So, I mean, and I think women are going to be able to take a look at this podcast and see how men truly think, especially the men that are very goal oriented and very ambitious. Because sometimes when you have a lot of goals and you are very ambitious, you tend to shut the world off.
This is true.
You tend to shut the world off.
That tunnel vision, man.
Yeah, it's that tunnel vision.
Tunnel
like
vision can hurt you, actually.
It can. So they'll be able to, you know, if they have partners at home, they have someone that they're dating, a brother, a cousin, whatever the case is, they'll be able to take a look at this podcast and be like, okay, I understand what he's thinking, what he's going through. Because sometimes we just block people out. It is what it is. Yeah. Like, you know, and we don't mean to.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to learn as well.
Yeah, sometimes your guard just goes up. You don't even
have it up, bro. I've had that. You know that I have that issue sometimes.
I do too,
bro. Yeah, like we all do.
Yeah, we bounce it off each other, and then we'd be like, all right, bro, let's bring it down.
Yeah, we both do. It always happens. It's always like, damn, like, just relax.
Let me double check, make sure we're still good, still rolling. Okay, yeah, we're still rolling. We're good. I'm not cutting any of this either.
What?
I'm not cutting any of this either. We're just gonna do a raw. But all right. Okay, so Broski,
What?
share some moments where you felt lost, but you chose fear, or excuse me, where you
Right,
had to
chose
choose fear or faith.
Yeah, I mean, damn, there's a lot. Look,
Mind you, again, his brand is called
fear or faith.
Okay, so
Yeah, a lot of people get that wrong. They'll be like faith and fear, fear
it's
or
because
like,
there's so many stuff
there
out there
is.
that's just like fear over faith.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, read.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like, can you read?
It's because the mind, bro, it just skims.
Nah,
Yeah.
it does. I do the exact same thing, right? But dude, there's been a lot of times in life where I had to believe in myself regardless of what was going on, right? Like I was early in my life, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. One,
Really?
yeah, I never told you
That's
that.
why you look like that when I was flashing the light. No, just
No, damn, bro. Listen, I didn't say anything. We're gonna get canceled episode 1 because of you.
8 minutes in, getting
Listen,
canceled.
bro. Yeah. So I was epileptic. A lot of people, like a lot of doctors, told my mom, like, your son is gonna live with this for the rest of his life. That was the very first miracle I've ever experienced. Was I somehow just miraculously came out of that.
Oh, it went away.
Yeah, it went away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went away. That's why a lot of my life, my mom didn't want me to play any kind of sport because of the contact.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was gonna say something, but I can't.
What?
I was just gonna say, okay. So it was a choice. So you just said, all right, it's gone.
No,
But
no, man. No.
For my epileptics out there, I love y'all. Okay.
As a matter of fact, we should just start this over.
No. Y'all will see from this podcast. I like dark jokes. Okay, so this is not a place to to get your feelings hurt.
I'm
Okay.
gonna keep my dark jokes to myself.
Yeah. It won't be crazy dark jokes.
Nah.
But I'm sorry. But that's actually freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and a blessing though too, because there's so many instances, and we've had a lot of experiences where there has been a lot of flashing lights as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, we like music. We go to concerts. We do a lot. Yeah, and
That'd
like,
been really scary.
like I've never thought about that, but that's a big blessing. Like I wasn't supposed to be doing half of the stuff that I'm supposed to do.
Man.
So that's one. And I mean, I saw that. I mean, obviously at that young age, I didn't know, right? Like, but even then, 13 or 14 years old, was diagnosed with depression, and we can. That was a rough situation where we were taken away from our mom, right, at that age. And I won't go into specifics just because obviously respect my sister, respect my family.
Yeah.
But through that whole trial, there was a lot that really went into my life and not wanting to even be here as a man and as a human.
Yeah.
And I had to choose to put myself forward and every day wake up and believe in myself, believe in what I was going through, and believe that God was always going to take care of me, regardless of what I went through.
Yeah.
Those are two big events. Even after then, like at 23, I went to go work for my dad. Got fired.
And got fired from his own dad.
Got fired on my day off. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I did.
You got fired on your day off?
My day off. But that was, again, 23. That's what made me get thrown out to the wolves. I was like, there was no communication with me and my family for about 2 years. I went to go sleep on luckily I had a wonderful friend that had an extra mattress. So I went to go live at their place. They were kind of like in the process of moving out.
Wait, he kicked you out the crib too?
Bro,
Like you were exiled.
I was exiled. Well, at the time I was living with my mom. And like since graduating college, I always took care of my mom, like financially. It's always been that way. So it was like, that was the time where I had to look my mom in the face and be like, yo, like, I messed up. I'm sorry. Like, I need to go out there and like make sure that I can provide. And yeah, luckily I had a friend. They were moving out of their place, and he was like, "Yo, we have an extra bedroom. Just pay half of the rent." I was like, "That's perfect.
Yeah,
$500." I was like, at that time that was a lot of money too. Because remember, this was
even though rent was cheaper back then.
Yeah.
It was still $500. Was still a lot of money.
I'm coming out of college, and I'm barely gonna start my first big boy job outside of the family.
Yeah.
So in that moment, that was the most depressed I've been, aside from when I first found out what depression was. So like I went through probably the next few years on survival mode, trying to figure it out. And trying to keep on going. But again, I chose to believe in myself. I didn't give up. Like I was like, you know what? Like these are the cards that God dealt for me. I made these mistakes. I had to grow up. So there was a lot of times, like that's 3, right? But there's a lot of times where I have to wake up and I have to choose to believe in myself. And that's a message that I wanted to.
Now, what does that look like though, when you choose faith because a lot of people are thinking that it's, of course, it all starts here.
Yeah.
It first is a thought, but
100%.
fear is also, faith is also an action.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people always come to me and they'll be like, well, faith means believing in God. No, it doesn't. If you look in Webster's dictionary, it means to believe in something.
Yes.
Yeah, and put trust in something,
Yes,
right?
because you can have faith in someone
Yeah.
else, but just because
Yeah.
you having this faith does not mean that you're idolizing something.
No,
or
no,
this
no, no, no,
person.
no,
Like
no.
you can have faith
Exactly.
in God, and you can also have faith in yourself to carry out said actions.
Exactly. So like, and I believe in God.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We
My
both do.
relationship with God is my relationship with God, and that's, you
Right.
know, I take care of that as best as I could, and that's very private. My relationship with the way that I have with our Lord and Savior is my business,
That's all
no
you-
one else's.
Yeah.
So to me, it was always what faith looks like for me is trusting who I am as a man and trusting my growth and trusting that every day you are going to have a battle, but what are you going to learn from it? What are you going to take from that battle?
Now there is a bit to unpack there, and I wanna make sure that we're staying on time, but because there's so many questions that just go through. But when you said that you're trusting within yourself, how did you build that trust with yourself? How'd you bridge that together? Because you know it always starts off as like,
Making a funny face on you.
yeah,
That a lot of work, man. A lot of work.
repetition.
Repetition. I still do it every day. Like early. All right, I can tell you like from 23 to like later on in 20s. Right. For me, it was I always had a dream. I always had dreams. I always had a dream of one, starting a clothing brand, two, like making a difference in the world. That was always my dream, and that's what kind of was like my northern star, and still is my northern star. But it was waking up every day and being like, how are we going to get out of this mess? How are we going to become a better man out of this? That was always something that like played in my head. And obviously through that, I had my own issues.
Right.
Alcohol was an issue. Drugs were an issue. And by the way, don't do drugs, whatever the case is. Like, you know, don't do that. Obviously have fun, but be responsible, you know, when it comes to alcohol. Not saying that I had an alcohol problem, but obviously when you are going through a hard time, you can self-medicate as well, even if you don't have a problem with alcohol.
It's
Like-
natural for a human to want to overindulge. Because
Exactly.
We're creatures of obsession.
Exactly. So for me, it was just always keeping my eye on the Northern Star and just trusting in the process and always working. Fitness was a big part of that.
Oh
So-
yeah, you did CrossFit.
Yeah, I did CrossFit, so I always competed. And then I would always force myself to wake up in the morning, go work out. Like, just start the day off with a win, always, no matter what.
That's powerful right there.
Yeah,
what you
so
just did.
it was always start the day off with a
Starting
win.
that day off with a win, even
And then-
if it's the smallest one.
Exactly, and then, but as you grow, a lot comes to light.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I had stopped going to therapy. So therapy, I started it when I was diagnosed. This was court appointed.
Okay.
Like,
This was forced.
yeah. So, well, when I was 13, yes, because we were taken away from my mom, obviously a kid going through whatever I was going through and what I saw. And the job of the court was to try to mend that relationship. So they brought in a therapist, right? That's where I was diagnosed, etc. But that experience was so traumatic to me that I didn't want to go to therapy
Yeah.
for years. And this happened from the age of like, let's say, I think I stopped like at 15, 16. And it carried all the way until I was like 27, 28.
Wow.
Where I was at. I'm going to figure this out. They prescribed me like antidepressants. And at that age, dude, at 13 or 14 years old to be like, I'm not taking this.
Yeah.
Like, I think I took it once and I was like, no. Like,
I'm glad you caught on quick.
Nah, I threw that bottle away and I was like, y'all aren't gonna like control me. And that's not, I'm very rebellious in the sense of like, tell me to do something. I'm like, no. Like, that's just who I am. Like, if I want to do it, I'll do it. But like,
It's like it's something for people in general. It's like you tell them not to do something, and their mind immediately goes to, I want to do this.
yeah, exactly. And so it was like that, bro. So like for me, it was very traumatic. I was like, I know that I'm gonna go into therapy and like these people are gonna try to prescribe me with drugs, etc. And I don't want that.
Right.
I was like, let me try to figure it out on my own. But it came to a point where obviously after a while, I think like 27, 28, I had a big like, I had a big fight with my sister and like things were just, it was a constant repetition of like anger, then action. And it got to the point where I was like, look, I don't want to ever lose my friends, my family, like anybody. It's time to go back to therapy. And like, I took that,
respect.
thank you. And I took that big step. It was scary, But like from 28 to now, 27, 28 to now, therapy has been one of the biggest reasons why I continue to like grow as a man, and that's helped me grow. So I guess to answer your question, like there's small wins, there's little things that help you every day, right? From 14 to 27, 28, it was always my Northern Star, right? Now it's the Northern Star plus the little things that I learned in therapy to help me cope with everything and to help myself kind of rewire my brain. And for one, speak to yourself nicely.
That.
Like speak to yourself nicely. That's the biggest thing I had to learn.
And ever since us becoming friends, that has been like one of the biggest things that you say is speak to yourself nicely. It's very important.
Yeah, 100%.
Very important.
Because especially if you think about it, dude, like we have a lot of great male role models out in this world, but the way that they talk to themselves is ugly.
Yeah.
And I tell you that all the time, right?
Yeah. Because they base their foundation and accomplishment off of anger.
Yeah, exactly. And I did that for
and
the longest
aggression.
time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working.
And
like,
it for most people it won't work. For the very few, some it will, depending on the principles that you play out. But however, now you got a foundation built off of anger, and how will you react later on when some other elevated version of adversity comes your way if you've never healed that portion of yourself.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned, bro. Like is I don't ever want to approach anything with anger. It's always like, if I'm mad, take a step back, just relax, remove yourself from the situation,
That right there.
breathe a little bit. When you're ready to tackle it, you tackle it, but you don't tackle it with impulse.
Impulse,
No.
or when you're at a heightened emotion state.
Exactly.
One of the worst things you can do.
Even if I feel myself over, like, for example, text, right? Someone says some like foul shit. Dude, I I'll put the phone down and I'll be like,
That's smart. Dropped it.
yeah, I either put it down or I close it, or like, I'll just be like, pff, and like I close it and like I go about my business. And then whenever I'm ready to speak again, I'll come back to it.
Smart.
Because I've done it before where, again,
Crash out.
dude, bro, you don't want these problems. Like verbally, I can get really, really mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's all about speaking to yourself nicely. And that's one of the biggest things that I do also want to project onto other men. But
Thank you for that, bro.
yeah.
Here, let me double check. Make sure
Double check?
we're good. Yep. Okay, we're good.
Man, did we go on a tangent?
Yeah, we did go on a tangent.
All right, now
let's move on.
What's
We should
now?
be
It's
in
your
segment two.
now. It's I mean,
but
nah.
I'll wrap up mine.
We need to get your take
yeah.
on as to like who you are.
So now this one goes from. So we kind of we got our structure built out on our laptop and
We're
iPads
learning
here.
in front of your eyes. All right.
Yeah, this is all of us learning.
I'm not gonna
which
pretend like I know what I'm doing.
should be some inspiration and motivation for y'all that's out there that's been wanting to start something. Whatever project it is, start it imperfect. An imperfect plan is one of the best plans if you actually just implement it, and then because you can always go back and rewire and rephrase things, right? But you learn from it. You learn from that experience.
Exactly.
Okay, so what we got is moments where discipline and spirituality pulled me out,
There you go. Yeah.
right? So what I'm gaining from this is when it says pulled me out, meaning pulled me out of my negative state, my negative thinking habits, right?
Because you are very disciplined and you are a very spiritual person. So obviously that started somewhere, right? So
Yes.
like, how did that? Let's kind of backtrack,
Yeah,
right?
well,
So
no,
now,
we'll provide context.
yeah. So how did that kind of start?
So from starts, it started out when I got through, I want to say the military is what really helped me realize that. So
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force and I went into San Antonio basic training, and there was like at some point where in basic training, I want to say towards the end, where I was able to realize like what was actually happening and the reasons why we were doing what we were doing on a daily basis, why our days were structured out in a certain way and why it was repetitive. And they were very clear with what needed to be accomplished and how we were going to accomplish that. and how it needed to happen every day. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was no fluff. There was no taking actions that's outside of going the direction to that goal that they wanted to accomplish. And once I seen that, I was like, okay, well, if the military does this and they're showing like this is kind of like how you get what you want, let me test it out for myself.
Yeah.
Because the things that I've gotten in life, and now that I think about it, besides just finances, I've pretty much gotten everything that I've wanted in life. And it's pretty crazy to say, but I had to sit back and really think about this the other day, and I was like, holy moly, like I've literally gotten everything that I've ever wanted.
It's funny that you said that because I think I had that epiphany yesterday.
Bro,
I was like,
it's just wild. It's just our minds go so far into the future sometimes that it's like, oh, well, I don't have this yet, but I just got this, but then,
But that's where practicing gratefulness,
right?
It comes
to actually
right?
be in the present, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, y'all, to get back on track. So what I seen was that, okay, if I do this, if I want this and I do this, and this, that I think that would get it, and then eventually, because now I'm in a test area, that I think that would get like the set accomplished goal, and I do these actions on a daily basis, and then I see that it compounds over time, and then eventually I get the goal accomplished that I wanted. And I'm like, okay, once I realized that, I was like, all right, now all I have to do is set a goal, set a plan on how I'm going to accomplish that goal, and stay on task, stay focused. And on the flips, not on the flip side, adjacent to that is spirituality. So so God and Jesus has always been in my life since I was younger. And I've always been in the church as a Christian and as Catholic, all of that. Not very crazy, religious type of guy growing up. But I've always believed in God. I've always prayed, always meditated, always kept a strong relationship with him, and just kept building upon it. And I started to learn a lot of his principles, and didn't even realize that a lot of what I was doing in life and starting to realize was principles and instructions that was already coming from what God implemented in this life in order to gain the things that you desire.
Yeah.
Right? And once I put those together and put those in play, it was wraps from there, bro. But however, I will say, I'm not a perfect person. I'm actually very imperfect. There are, things that I can still clean up in my daily habits.
I mean, we all can, right?
Yeah, and but for example, right now, my fitness, I should be looking top tier right now. However, I ain't been waking up every day. You know what I'm saying? But I'll eat clean. But just because I eat clean does not suffice. Me not working out as hard as I should be working out because of my goals, right? So my goals are much different. My goals is I want to look like a Greek god. You know what I'm saying? No, but I want to look chiseled and have my 8-pack, riding. And I want to look good. I want to feel good. And right now, I just feel good. I'm in shape. I eat clean. I eat well. And I do move. But overall, there's always room for growth, and there's always room for you to be doing better than what you're currently doing. But yeah, those are times where I've noticed that discipline and spirituality has me taking action in those two realms, and doing it on a daily basis pulls me out of the negative state, because me feeling like I'm not doing anything or just sitting stagnant and being idle and not working towards the things that I want keeps me in that negative state.
And I think it does for a lot of people, because I'm the same way. If I don't get, again, that all goes back to waking up and having a dub right when you wake up, right? Because you're all right, I moved, I got that W. Mm-hmm. Now you kind of start that momentum, you build upon it. But if you
build that confidence in yourself too, which
exactly 100%
eventually builds that trust.
Yeah,
because of through repetition and you showing up for yourself.
Exactly.
Because what a lot of people don't do nowadays, and I'm thinking about it even myself, is that let's say you got a homie, right? And your homie is continuously, not on an annoyance basis, but he's continuously want to, nurture the friendship, hang out. He wants to kick it, or he wants to, chat, shoot the shit, and you're just not there. You're not showing up. You're not talking to him. It's just kind of one-sided. It's just a bunch of blue messages. You ain't getting any type of responses, but you'll get some every now and then. You're gonna be like, this dude don't really mess with me like that.
Yeah.
And that's basically what you're telling yourself when you're not taking those consistent actions.
That's one thing that I do want to really hone in on, like, especially as we continue this podcast, right, is you are your own best friend.
Yes.
Like, you will always be your own best friend. And that for me was one of the biggest turning points of my life.
You know what? And that should be one of our videos.
Yeah.
You are your own best
it will.
friend.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later on.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the biggest turning points. And that's what I want men to be able to, like, have in this aspect is treat yourself with respect. You talk to yourself the way that you would talk to a friend. I need to talk to myself the way I would talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never tell you anything bad. Like, I'm not
Right.
like, kick rocks, you suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for lack of better phrases. But now, from spirituality, do you feel like there was a lot, trying to word this and phrase this right, spirituality-wise, do you think that was there one big moment where that truly helped you in life, where you were like, God really made his presence felt, and you're like, dang, like.
That happened today while I was at church.
All right.
Yeah. Because spirituality isn't all about just a textbook.
Yeah,
Right?
textbook,
and
yeah.
what's in it, right? Just in the Bible. And the Bible is honestly just a book of instruction and stories, right? And with gaining the knowledge and applying this knowledge and starting to understand a lot about how God works, how this life works, and how the enemy works, it unlocked a lot of chambers in my mind where it doesn't feel like that I've learned new knowledge. It starts to make me feel like I'm remembering, which is like pretty crazy. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about more.
Because it gets pretty deep. However, today, God gave me that hand on my shoulder, to remind me of his presence, that he actually was always here. It's just all about me being focused on him instead of the worldly things. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, life will throw a lot of curveballs at you because there are laws that are in play that just shape life, right? And so, like, for example, disruption always follows intention, right? So there's always going to be something that goes wrong at some point, and then there's always going to be something that goes right for you at some point, and it's based off of your perception, right? And with that, dang, I forgot where I was going. Like, I got real deep into the weeds.
Yeah, it's all right.
But my bad. But basically, overall, what I'm getting at is that God showed up in my life, and he's proven to me many times before when I'm on the right track, when I'm not on the right track, and where I should be going, right? And it's so easy to fall into temptation in this life. So it's like you have to really be careful and guard your mind and surround yourself with people of influence in a positive way, so they don't take away from your life, because people will drain you.
Oh, 100%.
And cause you to go down on the wrong direction, because I believe that everything is based off of frequency, and I feel like me and my homie here, Aman, are on a solid ass frequency, and it's only just getting stronger as we go.
We're not friends.
Because now as we're getting closer in our friendship, we're already like starting to bounce business ideas off of each other that we were already thinking about, but as soon as one of us texts, we're like, bro, I was literally just thinking about that, and then it was crazy. But yeah,
not even business ideas, bro. Like, I mean, this stemmed from a random conversation that we probably had like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was in Houston, I think.
Yeah, it was in Houston.
Yeah.
We were just like, what can we do to like provide value to other men and like make sure that they're not alone?
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, how are we going to help others through our journey? Because there's going to be a lot of valuable information. And as like you see in more episodes, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to get better on the mic, things like that.
Yeah.
But as we continue to grow, as we continue to find success, like there's going to be a lot that we're going to be able to give
Yes.
these men and, you know, this audience, women alike, if they're watching.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But sorry to pull us back in.
No.
But with spirituality, it has done nothing but good in my life, and it's helped me mentally, physically, and it is also starting to help me financially as well. And it's also allowing me to to step into a state for where I'm able to help others.
Yeah.
So
that's what we're doing everything for at the end of the day, right? That's what you need to be doing, like at the end of the day, because this is one thing that I heard from an entrepreneur is people over product.
people over product.
People over product always.
Service
like,
before self.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you put people first, my mom always told me this. She was like, if you take care of others and you give back to others, the Lord will give you in greater fashion.
Amen.
She always has. So like, that's something that I think the world has lost a lot.
Oh yeah, everybody's take. No one's a giver.
Bro, especially as you've seen it, and we've talked about it a lot with either clothing or modeling or content creation. We see that all the time. It's like, well, how am I going to get paid?
Right.
What am I going to get out of this? Like, helping a friend? Like,
Yeah.
I'll help you. I don't know. But I mean, you know, I think this is a good segue to kind of go into what to expect, because, you know, it's not about being perfect. It's about building together and trying to figure it out as best as we can and build a unit of men that are willing to help each other out.
Gotta move as a unit.
That's right.
A force.
Gang,
All right.
gang, ho.
So, let me make sure we're still good. Let me see where we're at.
Are we?
Okay, yeah, we're still good. 36 minutes in. Holy moly.
So we talked a lot.
Oh yeah, we did.
I'm overthinking what I said. I'm like, did I say anything wrong?
I was like going into the weeds there.
I think that's our problem, is that we just go into the weeds of stuff. So that's good. That means there's a lot more that we're going to be able to teach and dive into.
Passionate about like what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
it's like we get, but all right. So what to expect from, you know, the blueprint. So let's break down, you know, the pillars that we'll just cover and that they can expect.
You want to kind of like go, you do one, I do one, and then we kind of just like break it down like that?
As just like previously discussed, we're going to be talking about mental health and spirituality.
Yeah. And then physical health and discipline as well.
And financial freedom, and the importance of learning this at such a young age. But even now, wherever age that you're at, it's not too late.
Yeah. And even relationships and connections. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that we as men deal with. We're trying to build some great men that, you know, are not out here doing wrong to others.
To others, people, your girl.
Yep.
All right, so let me see here.
And that last one.
Okay. Yeah.
Pursuit of the dream life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're all pursuing a dream. We're all trying to go after something that our little baby selves have always wanted. I mean,
when we still want, shoot.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
we're striving for it now.
Exactly.
Now we have a greater understanding of what it takes to actually go get that.
Exactly. How to be the overall perfect human being. We're not all perfect, right? No. But like the best version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Which is gonna be that disciplined version of yourself with the correct habits. So our next episode coming up, you guys, for the blueprint is gonna be discipline is freedom. Right, because without discipline, nothing else works in life.
Yeah, no. I mean, and that's essentially how our podcast is going to be formatted. Is every week we're going to come to you with some kind of episode. Next week is going to be discipline. Mm-hmm. The week after, TBD. But it could be mental health, could be physical health, etc. And as we continue to grow, we're going to bring on some experts. They're going to be able to talk about these specific concepts.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So every week we're going to try to give you game. We're going to try to help you as best as we could for you to just be the best person that you can possibly be.
And challenge you to actually live it. So we'll do challenges like every week, and we'll leave you with a small challenge for the next coming video. And what we look forward to, like we're going to do these challenges as well. What we look forward to is for those who have taken action and completed that challenge to leave it in the comments. And if you did try to take that action and you didn't accomplish it, it's okay to be vulnerable here. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
explain why you weren't able to accomplish it. What happened, right? And maybe there's something that someone in the comments knows, or you and I may know from experience on how you can try to tackle it next time and accomplish it.
Yeah, and we're also available via DM. Like, I'm never too good to answer my DMs. Will it take me a little bit? Maybe. You know, we're busy.
In the description below will be our handles.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Facebook as well. Trying to get back in the habit of
hit me up on
Facebook.
eBay, baby.
eBay? To get your Fear of Faith.
Nah, no, whoa, Fear of Faith is not on eBay. Don't get it on eBay. Get it straight from fearfaithco.com.
It better not be on
Fear. I'm watching y'all now. But I guess what we want this podcast, we want this to be more than just a podcast, right? We want this to be a movement. Mm-hmm. We want this to really build into a community of men, again, that are there for each other no matter what. Yep. Again, women alike. Mm-hmm. Everybody's more than welcome. But we want to build some great leaders around here and a community where we're going to all help each other. And we're never going to be alone, right? We're always going to support each other, always going to love each other. And we're going to get rid of that toxic masculinity.
Yeah, toxic masculinity.
We're not going to do all that.
Gotta go every week. Yeah. You know, like I said, you know, we're gonna share the blueprint, and we're gonna share a challenge for you to actually live it.
Should we do one today?
I'm sorry.
Should we do one today for the first one?
I mean, we can.
I mean,
let's see.
I think it's something to just think about.
Okay.
I mean,
well, you know what? What we can start. The first challenge is getting very clear on one big goal that you want to accomplish in this life, and be crystal clear with it. Like, if you were able to paint a picture, crystal clear, and we'll give you a week.
And share it.
Yeah,
share it. Comment it. Mm-hmm. We'll hype you up.
Yep.
DM us. Tell us. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for today. I mean, I feel like we're just going to start rambling on, and we're actually going to do all the podcasts in one.
I know, right?
So, like,
no, seriously.
Kind of need to stop it here, but.
Well, y'all, I mean, if this resonates with you and y'all are liking the vibes of the blueprint so far, hit that subscribe button. We're going to do our due diligence to try to get this on Spotify as well, and eventually on, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you're going to be listening, most likely it's going to be a lot from YouTube because people like visuals. But hey, sometimes you got to be running and listening, But share this with a brother who needs to hear it, And shoot, you got any last sayings, brother?
Yeah. So what? The blueprint is pretty simple. We're here to help men feel their best selves, grow into their best selves, and feel seen, and that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
So shop fearfaithco.com. Don't forget.
All right, y'all. Have a great evening.
Peace.
Bless up. It actually